I can't wait to see the real thing,
said 10-year-old Violet Alden, adding spots to the drawing in her sketch pad.
I'll draw an even better one then.
I'd say your snow leopards look pretty good already,
Henry said from across the airplane aisle. Then he turned back to the book about India he was reading to his little brother, Benny. At 14, Henry was the oldest of the 4 Alden children. He was used to watching out for the others. On this trip, he had a lot of responsibility. The children were on a flight halfway around the world. Until they landed, he was in charge. And with 6-year-old Benny, that meant making sure he didn't get too antsy. Jessie reviewed the notes she'd written in her notebook. She was 12 and liked to keep the children's travels organized.
We will land in Leh, she said. That's the largest city in Ladakh.
Huh?
Said Benny.
I thought we were going to India.
Ladakh is a territory in India,
Jessie explained.
It's in the northern part of the country. It's also one of the highest up places in the world.
Henry nodded.
A perfect place for snow leopards, he said. They live far up in the mountains, and the Himalayas have the highest peaks anywhere.
A voice came over the airplane speakers, announcing that they would be landing soon. Violet closed her sketch pad. Jessie tucked her notebook into her backpack. Henry put away the book he was reading and made sure everyone had their seatbelts on. Benny bounced in his seat.
I can't wait to see Kayla again.
Kayla Young was the family friend the Aldens planned to meet at the airport. She worked for a group called Protectors of Animals Worldwide, or PAW. The children had met Kayla when they were visiting Port Elizabeth, where she'd been doing research. After a bad oil spill had happened off the coast, they'd helped her keep the animals that were affected safe. Kayla had been so impressed with their help, she'd invited them to come along as she helped protect other animals around the world. Benny gazed out the window as the plane descended. They'd been flying above clouds. Now mountain ranges stretched as far as he could see. The tops of the mountains were white with snow.
Everything is so big,
said Benny.
It must be hard to find snow leopards in the mountains.
Violet leaned over to look.
I bet they can go all kinds of places people can't. They probably hide well, too. That's why Kayla and Pa need to study them, Jessie said. Pa wants to find out how snow leopards act in the wild. They also want to know how people are affecting the cats.
Benny looked up at his big sister.
What do you mean? I like to pet cats and hear them purr.
Jessie grinned.
Don't try to pet a snow leopard. They're wild animals.
I know,
Benny said.
We shouldn't touch wild animals. We might hurt them, or they might hurt us.
Right, said Henry. I don't think you'll have a chance to touch a snow leopard anyway. They won't want to get close to us. But maybe we'll see one if we're lucky.
Violet sighed.
I sure hope so. It would be sad to come all this way and never see a snow leopard.
It'll still be fun,
Benny said.
We get to be in the mountains. Grandfather said it's really far from everything. It'll be like living in the boxcar again.
At one time, the children had lived in a boxcar in the forest. That was after their parents had died. They'd thought their grandfather would be mean, so they'd run away. They'd had many adventures while living in the boxcar, but when grandfather had found them, they'd found out he wasn't mean at all. Now they had a real home with grandfather, and they still had plenty of adventures. Jessie chuckled.
Benny, the Himalayan wilderness might be a little tougher than the forests of Greenfield, Connecticut.
They watched as the plane lowered into a wide valley. A blue-gray river wound between green trees. Buildings came into view. Before long, the plane touched down. Benny giggled as the plane bounced on the runway and slowed to a stop. When the plane reached the gate, a flight attendant escorted the children off the plane. Finally, after hours of travel, the Aldens saw a friendly face. Kayla had big, smiling brown eyes, and her short hair bounced as she hurried over to greet them with hugs. She'd already been in India for a week and had traveled down from the Paw Research Center in the mountains to pick up the children. Once everyone was ready, the Aldens followed Kayla outside, where a shuttle was waiting to pick them up.